Ever found yourself down a rabbit hole? What do I mean? Well, if you're like me, there are times I'm on the internet for a specific purpose, but I get distracted by an ad or an image, and I find myself spending time looking at things or reading things that are way afield from my original purpose. And sometimes those things are decidedly unhealthy. We often find ourselves doing things that really betray our purpose. If we're not focused, we can get off track. Ever find yourself at the fridge, eating when you're really not hungry, or spending money you don't have to spend? Well, the Apostle Paul encourages us in Romans chapter 13, verse 14, to make no provision for the flesh. In other words, he's encouraging us to make it more difficult for our flesh to have its way. More difficult for us to go down that rabbit hole, or open the fridge door, or to spend that money. He encourages us to set limits in place that don't allow our flesh to have its way. Even in Proverbs, the father, speaking to his son, urges him to stay far from the door of an adulteress. Don't even go near those places that could tempt you to do something that would betray your commitments and your identity as a solid human being. For me, with the internet, it helps me to have guards in place, safeguards that keep me from going to certain websites, and software like Covenant Eyes that will notify people if I go to some place that's not good for me. These safeguards help me, just like it helps to clean out the fridge if you are prone to eating high-calorie foods, or cutting up your credit cards if you're prone to impulsive spending. Making no provision for the flesh is a way of safeguarding your heart and your mind from going where it does not need to go. It's tough, but sometimes it's just as simple as putting your phone aside when you have a task to do, so that you're not tempted to check on voicemail or text messages, or to look something random up on your phone. Every day we have those choices to make. And I remember even back when my children were small and we would go to the bowling alley, that we would sometimes get bumpers to go in the gutter so that the children could be more likely to hit the pins at the end of the alley. Whatever you have to do today, put some safeguards in place. Put those bumpers that will help you to keep your focus, to keep your mind and your heart on the path toward the goal and not in the gutter.